Welcome back to Sparta, and we're not actually in Persian territory just yet because I spotted a vassal battle going on just north of our current position in Megara, and I thought to myself, okay, we're gonna have to do some battling here because I would like to be able to get a little bit of additional experience and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of extra loot as well, because then we can go to the nearby marketplace, we can sell it, maybe we can even buy a weavery and dye works. And then, well, the construction will begin, and hopefully the weavery and dye works will then be in place by the time we reach Persia. And then we can do some battling against the bandits there, and maybe even, I don't know whether we're going to raid any villages, because I think that might be a bit dangerous, considering we are the only vassal over there, and it's probably not the best idea to try and raid a Persian village when they are not at war against us. But that may change in the very near future, who knows. But I have been told in the comments that there are bandits in the Persian territory that is, well, ripe for the picking, basically. Because these guys, these bandits in Persian territory, they are primarily cavalry focused. And you can imagine how fun that is going to be with our amazing shield wall full of these guys with all their spears and things. You can imagine how incredibly destructive that would be against an entire, well, cavalry force. It's just going to be crazy. Alright, so here's the thing. My allies only have 19 units. I am wondering which one is mine and which one is theirs, because they seem to be moving in separate positions. I think these are mine because I have 44 on the battlefield at the moment, and I don't know actually. Is this mine? I think that guy might be mine. I think that guy is definitely mine. I'm gonna tell my archer to follow me because I think that is probably gonna make. Yeah, I think these guys are mine actually. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of something here. I will try to flank with my archers, and maybe if the AI, because I'm helping a friend at the moment. So if this guy goes in, which it seems like he is, we're going to go and flank the enemy and maybe just do a little bit of something there. Okay, so let's see if we can maybe flank them just a little bit around the side. Maybe we can do some little bit of pokey damage here and there, and I don't really want to take too much damage against the mounted units if at all possible. So, is this mine? That's mine. He's wearing blue, so I automatically think that it's an enemy, but no. Never mind. Oh well. So far we're doing alright, because we are dealing some damage to the cavalry. That's not too bad. Oh, no. I do not want to die from these guys. Thank you very much. There we go. Nice. Yes, stab in the face for the maximum damages. There we go. Oh, my spear broke. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of spear breaking, I should definitely mention that the mod creator has released a new patch, and it is save game compatible, if you can believe it. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing when mod creators release save game compatible changes and updates and things like that, because that then means that you can continue your wonderful campaign and you don't have to worry about having to start a new one. And this one changes a pretty considerable amount of stuff. And among the changes is a different way of dealing with spear breaking. So obviously, as you saw, spears still break. You know, that's just how they are. They are gonna break. But the quality of the spear makes the difference on how, should we say, how frequent a spear breaking is going to be, which in my opinion is really cool. I like that change a lot, because that means that if you're using a rusty spear, or if you're using something that's a little bit like a bent one or something like that, then it is going to have a much more likely chance of breaking in comparison to something that is a little bit more polished, like a balanced one. That's what the mod creator gave as an example, at least in the changelog. So if you have a balanced spear, then it's obviously going to be so much easier for you to use that in battle for extended periods of time. So that is definitely a really, really nice change. Also, the other change, which I am very excited about, it may seem boring to some people, but I personally feel like this is a really good change. A camp menu option has been added and I'm going to explore it in just a second. And this guy manages to escape, unfortunately. Oh yeah, he has also increased the shield HP or durability of the shields that you're most likely going to see most of the time. So that, in my opinion, is also a really good change. Alright, so, yes, okay, so they're having, oh wait, it saddens him deeply to take the lives of his fellow men, however just the cause. And he and I have talked together of a brighter future, of the need to unite these petty warring kingdoms of the known world, so that we may bring this time of troubles to an end. Very good. Okay, so those guys actually get along, which is really nice. I like that quite a bit. Okay, so let's level up these fellows. And I think, yes, I also leveled up. Okay, so that guy's fine. Okay, so let's go into the camp menu before I forget that this is, actually a thing. Anyway, disable companions' interactions or complaints in this case. And I'm going to do that because I really don't want them to complain about each other all the time. I think that is just annoying, and I think it's really good to try and prevent them from doing that, because then maybe, just maybe, they'll just kind of get on, and that would be good, because then we can hopefully keep them around for a little bit longer. Who knows? Anyway, I believe that the ransom broker population is still about the same, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find any in this area at the moment. So maybe I'll be able to find some as we progress towards Persia. That's what I wanted to say. Towards. I don't even know what happened there. So we have now reached Persian territory, and we're hopefully going to be able to get into the first town. I think this is a town, at least. Yes, it is. That's great. So let's go into the tavern first off, because I am still in search of that ransom broker. Thankfully, I'm now full HP as well. Seems like no, we still do not have a ransom broker available. I think there are a couple of other places that the ransom broker can appear, but I have only seen 2 different spawn locations for NPCs. And I'm not entirely sure if I really want to spend additional time looking for it. So I'm just going to leave that there, and we're going to take a look at the arms merchant. Okay, so we have a one-handed, that's got piercing damage. That might be really good. So maybe we'll think about that, but at the moment I am still looking for that two-handed. I know that someone did mention that maybe I should just try to get used to the whole sword and shield thing, but for me, if you're going up against the Delian League, which in general that is what we are going to be fighting against, we're just going to be fighting against those guys because that's what the Spartans are currently wanting to fight against. And those guys, they generally tend to use spears, and I don't necessarily want to get super close to a huge amount of guys that want to use spears against me, because they're just going to poke me in the face and probably do a massive amount of damage in the process. So, oh wow, that is actually a really cool spear. 48 piercing damage. Wow, that's actually really, really cool. But it's 31,000. I'm never going to be able to afford that. Not in a million years. I might be able to afford it sometime later on, but right now, no way. That is really quite sad. We do have a bunch of other things here. You can get a hardened tiara if you so desire. If you're role-playing super much, then that is definitely going to help you out quite a bit. Didn't we go into the tavern just now? I think I may have already gone into the tavern. Oh, yeah, did I? No, I don't think I did actually, but yeah, there is no ransom broker here either. Okay, so I'm gonna try and search for some of these bandits, some of these cavalry bandits, and hopefully I will be able to find a ransom broker at some point. I'm gonna continue to run to the various towns. Who's that? Who's this? No, those are just a regular patrol, and I'm just gonna try and find those mounted bandits, because I think that they are going to be pretty cool to fight. Well, we have a bit of an interesting situation on our hands here. As you can see, I have my archers over to the side here, and I am attempting to flank some bandits that I managed to find. Unfortunately, though, these guys are not cavalry, and I haven't been able to find any cavalry whatsoever, so I think that's a bit weird, because this is apparently the land of the cavalry bandits. So maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place or something along those lines, and maybe I'll just have to... I don't even know who the bandits are right now, because the enemy does kind of have the same colors as us. So it seems like these are the bandits right here. So let's move a little bit closer, try and do some much needed poking damage. Wow, 5 damage got me that kill. That is a bit embarrassing. A bit embarrassing. Okay, so let me see if I can maybe free up some of our units here. There we go. A nice little stab there. We're losing quite a few units as a result of fighting these guys. Now, you can see quite clearly that these fellows are pretty good. They're pretty good, you know. They've got some decent armor, decent weapons, and they're doing quite a lot of damage to us in the process. And there we go. My spear has broken. And well, you've seen that I do have a plain one. I have a plain spear in both slots. So if I wanted to make it so that this wouldn't break as much, I'd have to try and find a balanced one. And we've seen the balanced ones are extremely expensive, so it's definitely something to think about for maybe late game or something like that. I'm hopeful that I might be able to poke some of these guys a little bit, but it seems like we have achieved victory. There's only, well, there's no one left now because they routed, but yeah. Hopefully we'll get a good amount, only 6 renown. I was hopeful for a little bit more than that because there were 52 enemies, but that is indeed that, and oh my. Oh yes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so wow, this was very lucky indeed. We gained some armor, and it makes me look a little bit more like a Spartan now, which I quite like. It's at least got red in it, so it makes me look a little bit less like a member of the Delian League, which I very much appreciate. Alright, so I'm very excited to let you know that I have just found the cavalry-based bandits, and I am very excited about this battle because I haven't really taken advantage of spears in the past against cavalry-focused armies because, in general, in native warband, you're not really going to be finding that many spears with the exception of the Rodox, and usually their crossbowmen are going to be the main thing that you're going to be leveling up with those guys, and maybe the sergeants as well. But generally, the spearmen are not really going to be your focus. So it's going to be really fun to see and indeed find out how effective spears are going to be. Well, it seems like very effective so far against cavalry. And I'm actually going to get my shield out to try and negate some of the damage that I'm taking here. And maybe we'll try and do some damage, try and stop the horses in their tracks, try and do a little bit of damage to the riders as well. But you can see quite clearly that these guys are out of their element. They really just have no idea what they can do to fight us. And that is to be expected, because who in their right mind, as a cavalry-focused force, would want to run in to this? A huge amount of spears and shields, and wow, I can only imagine how painful this must have looked to them when they entered the battlefield. I mean, really, we've had this kind of thing in the past, you know. We've you know, fought against the Kurgits and all these things, and the horse archers are just, so incredibly frustrating to fight against. And even the Saranids with their thrown weapons and things, they can do so much damage with those. So yeah, it's really nice to be on the other side of things like that. And I believe that is indeed a victory. We're just going to let them run away because I don't think we can catch them. And there it is, a victory for us, 8 renown, and well, we have 5 left. Okay, I'm just going to tell my forces just to charge in there and finish it up. Alright, so we do get a chance to take some of them prisoner. I will not be taking these guys. I don't think they're that good. Do they level up at all? Oh, I actually have a couple of these. Oh, okay, well, sure. I'll take them then. I thought I didn't have any of those, but yeah, I apparently do. I am going to need to do a little bit of, not so much spring cleaning, but once I have an exuberant amount of cash, and I'm talking about a lot, you know, and more than I know what to do with, basically, then I'm going to try and be a little bit more uniform in the amount of units that I have, and, you know, I'll actually do a little bit of organization and things like that. So let's have a look at what they dropped. Nothing good. Nothing good. Very surprising, to say the least. Okay, well, that's kind of disappointing, isn't it? Anyway, I guess what we can do now is we can head on over to the... have I gone there? No, I don't think I've gone there before. So we're going to go over here. And, oh, there's another band. Look at that. 81 of them. So, yeah, this is a really, really good place to come if you are playing as the Spartans as well, or if you just, in general, have a whole bunch of spear-based units. It's going to be really, really effective for you to come here and level up your forces. But, well, maybe it's not even necessary, because you can level up elsewhere pretty easily. But maybe it's a cool idea. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to have a look at the marketplaces, and we'll see if we can maybe find something to take back to Spartan territory with us. So we have a bit of a problem on our hands here. We have a bandit infestation in Persian lands, and I don't know really why I'm helping these guys, but I guess I thought, hey, you know what? Let's just do a good deed for the Persians before we head back into our own territory. And these guys are kind of bad because they have good weapon proficiency in ranged combat, and this is definitely making things a bit more difficult. Wow, they all have bows. This is really bad for our farmers and things like that, because they are definitely without shields. As you see, they literally do not have shields, so most of these farmers are going to get massacred like no one's business. And I don't really want to tell my forces to charge in, because they are going to get massacred themselves if that is indeed the case. So yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to try my best and maybe just help a little bit as much as possible. I mean, they did charge with us. They didn't need to, I suppose, but I really wanted to save them as much as I could. But apparently they, well, I didn't know that these guys had bows, so I guess, you know, that's kind of harsh. Yes. Wow, we do a lot of damage. We do actually a lot of damage. Well, let's just say we do a lot of damage against lightly armored, some of the most lightly armored units you're going to face. But yeah, anyway, I unfortunately have been unable to find a ransom broker, and I've also been unable to find a two-handed weapon. I know someone actually did mention that in Persian territory you can get a two-handed weapon that is really good. It's like a two-handed axe or something along those lines, but I think it's rare. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't been able to find it, really, so it's a bit of a shame that I haven't, because I really would have loved it. But what can you do? What can you do? Maybe I should buy that piercing weapon or something like that, but I think that is quite expensive if you want a good one, so it's probably not going to happen. But there it is anyway. We were able to clear out the bandit infestation, and I'm not going to take the cash, I don't think. I'm going to take the honor. I think is probably going to work out a little bit better for us. So I decided, because we were already in the area, that I would check out the faction to the north of the Persians, and this is the Kingdom of Thrace, and I have found what I was looking for. Oh yes, balanced axes, rusty axes, and a variety of other weapons, but that is definitely what I was looking for. So I'm thinking that I might try to get something like this. I mean, I don't really want to buy this. I would love to buy this, but it's just so expensive. So I don't think it's going to happen at this time, but at least I know where to get it now. So I guess that's, well, better than nothing, I guess. Now, the cool thing about these places is that these slings and things are super powerful by the looks of things. The only thing that they don't have is they don't have piercing damage. They're obviously going to be using cutting damage, or, well, maybe blunt damage as well. Is that a sling? I think that is a sling. I haven't used one for such a long time. Britain Water was the last time I used a sling, I think. And that was a very long time ago indeed. All right, so apart from the weapons, what do we have in the armor department? 186,000 for that lordly set of armor. You can see here that my armor is admittedly, or maybe, you know, a bit better. And we got it for free. Pretty crazy. All right, so yeah, this is exactly where I am right now. Right there. And there's a number of Delian League fiefs in the area as well, so who knows, maybe there will be something that I can potentially attack. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna raid this village. I'm gonna raid this village, yes. That is a bit of a whim on my part, because it might be a bit risky, you know. It might be one of those times when I am becoming overconfident, and as a result I might very well get myself absolutely murdered. But let's try it out, you know, let's try it out. I'm just going to leave again just to make the autosave activate, because you never know, something might transpire that we don't really want. And otherwise, look at that, 1900 profit, very nice indeed. And by what we don't really want, I am talking about crashes, of course. Alright, so it is now dawn. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Hilariously enough, though, I'm wondering whether we will be able to achieve victory against him. Let's loot it. We're gonna try this out, because we know that villagers will join the enemy side, and as a result, they might very well be kind of, well, not as good as we are. They have 97 and we have 29, but we have 29 of some of the most highly trained blithering idiots in the land, including me, obviously. Anyway, let's see if we can do this. This might be a huge mistake, and I might end up losing my entire army, but I'm in pursuit of renown. I would like as much renown as possible, thank you very much. So let's see if we can maybe farm a little bit here, and then make a hasty retreat towards the nearby town, which has just become under siege, by the way. So I might very well not even be able to enter it. But as it stands right now, can you see exactly what I'm seeing? I see a bunch of peasants. I see a lot of peasants. I see a lot of units that are not exactly great. And my guys, oh yes, they know how to fight. They know how to fight like no one's business. So let me see if I can maybe do some damage here. Oh, hello. Oh, that was really bad. That was embarrassing, wasn't it? Yes, absolutely. Well, this guy is really making himself out to be kind of annoying, so maybe I'll just try and kill some peasants to thin out the herd a little bit, and then maybe what we can do is, yeah, there we go, we can get to some of the other guys by throwing them off a little bit by attacking the peasants next to them. There we go, nice. I love these animations. These animations are really cool. I know I've spoken about them before, but they're really, really nice. Okay, so let's see if I can, oh yeah, there we go. Okay, now maybe I can do a nice overhead. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to outmaneuver your opponent. That's basically what it's all about with the spear, at least at the moment. And obviously not trying to take damage in the process. Yes, and it's amazing. The overhead looks like it's not going to hit, but then it manages to hit almost every single time, apart from when they block like that. But it's really quite amazing if you are strategic and watch your positioning. The overhead with the spear is one of the most effective tools, in my opinion. I mean, just look at that. I took out that guy by aiming for his head hitbox. And obviously, I think he had been damaged a little bit as well. But I think that was pretty cool. I think this animation is an absolutely amazing addition. And whoever came up with it, good job. Good job. Because that is making spear combat so fun. It really does. And if you've ever been disappointed by spear combat in native or something along those lines, then look no further, because, yeah, this is very, very good. By the way, I haven't had any crashes. I don't know whether you've noticed. I haven't had any crashes in this entire episode. And I don't know what time it is for you right now in the episode, but for me, I've been recording for about 35 minutes. And, well, I've had no crashes in those 35 minutes, when before I would probably be crashing maybe every 10 minutes or something like that. It really depends. It's a bit random. So here's the thing. This is how I fixed it. Someone told me in the comments, and thank you to this person, by the way, thank you very much. Someone told me that changing your render buffer size makes the difference in regards to the crashes. And if you have a lower spec PC, you obviously want to lower the render buffer size. If you have a higher spec PC, then you raise the render buffer size. And I had my render buffer size on 15, which in my opinion, I don't know whether that's good or whether that's bad. I've always had it on that, but for this mod, apparently it needed it a little bit higher. So I tried out 32. It didn't seem to be, crashing or anything like that. And then I tried 64, and that seems to be absolutely fine. I'm having no problems whatsoever with the game. I am not having any performance problems at all. And I think that is the fix for the crash. Or at least I hope it is for some of you as well, because I think that a couple of people, maybe quite a few people, have been having a crashing problem with the Sparta mod and changing the render buffer size. Oh yeah, by the way, it is in the RGL_config notepad file in your quote-unquote My Documents folder. That is the place that you want to go to find the RGL config file, and you just open that up, and then at the very top of the file is where you want to change the render buffer size, and you just change it from what I can only assume is probably going to be 15. You change it from 15 to 32, or if you have a higher spec PC, then you can go for 64, or I don't even know whether you can go for more than that, but generally you can go for something along those lines. Obviously, if you're playing on something a little bit lower spec and it is still crashing, then just try 32, but it might give you some performance problems. So it really depends on what you want to try. I would definitely try it because it has, I think, solved my crashing issue. As I say, I haven't had any crashes since changing it, and it is amazing. It is amazing to play the mod without any crashes, because that really does diminish your enjoyment of the game. You know, any game that crashes like that, I played BioShock recently, BioShock Remastered, and I am sorely disappointed by that game because it crashes every 15 minutes, and it's just so sad because that game's one of my favorites, and you just can't play it. You just can't play it because it literally crashes every 15 minutes. No matter what you do, it just crashes, and it's just disappointing, like no one's business. So yeah, no matter what game you're playing, a crash is always going to give you that kind of like, do I really want to continue, sort of thing. So it's really nice that there has been someone that has given me that tip. I think it was a comment that I pinned. I think I pinned the comment on the previous episode. I think it was on the previous episode at least, or it might have been somewhere else. But whatever the case, I hope that that will help some people out. And I hope that I'm actually going to even achieve victory here, because I've been prattling on, and hopefully that is not going to result in my demise. It might. It might result in my demise. I hope not. We have 8. We have 8 units. This is bad. Right. I'm gonna have to do something here. We're gonna have to go in and... Oh no, my spear's broken! That's not good. Okay, let's just do some damage. Do some massive damage. Overheads. Overheads. Yes. That's what I want. Oh, all the overheads. All the overheads. And then a little bit of regular thrusting. Okay, nice. Nice. Yes. Yes. And oh, my guys are still alive! Yes! Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, come on, guys. Let's do this. I don't want to get killed by some slingers. Thank you very much. You know what? I'm just going to tell them to charge. I'm just going to tell them to charge because these guys really need to get themselves killed really, really quickly. And I hope that our guys will not take too much damage from their melee attacks. I mean, let's face it, they're probably not going to take any damage from their melee attacks. These guys are in really good armor. Wow, that was really close. We almost lost, but we gained another 49 renown from that, which I think is fantastic. Okay, so we only have 65 units remaining. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave. And I'm gonna mosey on away from here. This is under siege now by Persia, amazingly enough. So I am just going to head on to the nearby castle and rest up a little bit, and then we will be heading back to our native territory of Sparta. And at least now we know where to get the two-handed axe from. It's going to be really nice to try and return and use that again. You can see now that we have 137 maximum party capacity, and before we did those fights, I had 125, I believe. So we gained 12 capacity just from 100 renown, which in my opinion is really cool. Oh, hello there. It seems like the Spartans are having some problems down at Argos. It is under siege, so maybe I will be able to get there in time and maybe help out as well. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.